I'm actually getting relatively good at that timing. Holy shit. All right, so hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. I am, as always, your host and game master, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Toneshift. And with me today, as that intro so illustriously presented, we are joined by our full cast of characters. We have Hades Shadow 92 playing Thanatos, the Human Dark Knight.
Hello there.
Luminous Starlight playing Rocket, the Chocobo.
Hey!
Darkness playing Alistair, the Paladin.
Morning and afternoon, people of the world.
Yeah, because we're all over the fucking place. And lastly, we have Tom playing Neothil, our Elvan Ranger.
Hey.
Yes. So, where we last left off, you people had conducted one hell of an interesting heist in the city of Costa del Sol, the coastal city, which you had gone to in the hopes of acquiring a DeviantCorp communication device to bring back to Sid in Endlem, so that he could boost the tracing signal on, so that you could find the main headquarters of DeviantCorp itself, the nefarious scientific underground illegal organization that was responsible for the creation of Rocket, that she now seeks to destroy as retribution for what it caused. After a interesting and kind of slapdash plan that involved a lot of improvisation in the second half, you were finally able to acquire the communicator you came for from the captain's quarters of a presumed DeviantCorp scientist who was on break, on leave, and just drowning his stresses of that work environment in the booze and alcohol and liquor and just general revelry and excess of Costa del Sol. It's basically coastal Vegas is what it is. Excuse me.
Best place to go when you have the blues.
Pretty much. It's where you go if you want to have too much of fucking everything. Fantastic, really. But anyways, so after that, you all got back on board Sid's airship, the Stargazer, and made your way back to Endlem, whereupon you returned the communication devices to him in his workshop, and were surprisingly met by Mika herself, the red mage who had accompanied the party, or white mage, excuse me.
White mage.
White mage, excuse me.
Excusing me now.
Who had accompanied the party for a chunk earlier on in the campaign, before stopping in the academy city to take lessons. Apparently she and her teachers agreed that she would learn her lessons better by working and fighting and traveling alongside her close friends and good traveling companions, you guys, so long as she keeps in touch with her instructors back at the academy city to ensure her lessons and her understanding of what she's supposed to be learning is proceeding as planned.
We all know it was just because she missed me.
That's definitely part of it.
And the scientist and his crew and the mech are in trouble.
What?
I don't think the mech has feelings.
Yeah.
It's
probably get
an
scrapped or
empty
keep away,
vehicle,
the
man. It's
existing.
an empty machine. It doesn't have feelings. This ain't
I know, but it's going to get scrapped or...
This ain't near
basically put somewhere.
automata.
And then Sheila speaks in the background. Am I a joke to you?
We've
Well,
been
you're
watching
a
Red
fan
vs.
service.
Blue. She and I watched the first 2 seasons of Red vs. Blue last night.
Oh, they got you into that.
I've gotten her into many
Yay.
things, including Red Dwarf, Red vs. Blue.
Nice.
I support your taste.
The weird side of the Halo universe.
Although,
The
Yeah.
badass
Going back
side
to
of the Halo universe.
going
And
back
fun.
to the guy that we stole the communicator from, how long you think it took for him to realize it was gone?
About as long as it took for Costa del Sol guards to barge in and arrest everyone.
He
Did
had
they
a bad
arrest him?
hangover.
That's the question.
And now he's going to jail.
Probably.
Maybe. Unless he uses the mech and completely destroys Costa del Sol.
Well, that's highly unlikely because it ain't that powerful. Anyways, so we pick up with you all still in Sid's workshop, his manufactory. You've been reunited with Mika, and you're all just kind of chilling out at present in his workshop as he's looking over the 2 communicators and figuring things out. How do you wish to proceed? What are you guys doing?
How's
So,
it going? How's it going, Sid?
Well, it's going, that's for sure. DeviantCorp devices are boundlessly complicated, in large part because they have no restrictions. As a result, me, doing what I need to do with this thing is more difficult than you might assume. It's not as simple as just slapping two things together. I need to make sure I carefully extract the parts and put them together properly the right way, and I only get one shot, because if I break anything, we don't have spares. So I have to do this right the first time, and so I am taking all of the necessary measurements. This is gonna take a while.
Okay, how much time do you think?
At least a day? Probably a little
Okay.
more, depending.
Aww.
There, Thanatos. I'm sure we could find something to keep ourselves entertained for a day.
At least you have the whole day to wear off that bump.
Yes.
Or you could get yourself drunk and forget about it that way.
Yes, and I'm sure you two have a lot of catching up to do.
Thanatos, leave them.
Mika just
As if
pouts
he
at you.
could.
I will bring my staff upon your head, and you will feel the wrath of the paladin.
I already hit him with one book, and that didn't deter him. I don't think a staff's going to.
Oh,
Maybe it knocks him
this
unconscious
one's not
next
my
time.
old staff. It's a better one.
You wish.
So, glad to be back with us yet, Mika?
Oh, very. I miss these.
She sort of grins.
Yeah, apparently everybody enjoys our little quips.
Well, what can I say? It's wholesome. Anyways,
Yes.
you lot are actually welcome to hang out here for the night if you want. I've got some unused employment quarters for people who are employed and also rest here in the facility. It's not the most comfortable of arrangements, but if you want to make use of it, I'm happy to lend them to you.
Oh,
We
that's nice.
spent
Thanks.
days on end in a prison cell. I'm sure we'll manage with your actual non-prison cell quarters.
Well, glad to hear it. They're just down that hall, just past the door. If you go a little ways, there are a set of doors on the left-hand side. I was expecting 4 of you, not 5, so you're probably going to have to double up at some point.
Oh, I'm sure these two will be perfectly fine with it.
But
I
besides
mean,
that,
Mika
Me is
Mika
so-
lifts a finger and opens her mouth to retort, pauses, her ears kind of twitch a bit. She puts away her finger, closes her mouth, and says nothing.
well done. You made us speechless. Give
Got it.
yourself a medal.
No, it's more like one of those scenarios where I don't have an actual retort for that.
Oh.
And I win.
For now, but she still has the book.
we still have
She
the
can
moral
always throw it
victory.
again.
What was that?
She can always throw it again.
Do you want to do the honors this time, Gary?
I mean, he's not wrong this time, so...
I know, but it's the principle of these things.
Careful, you don't
The principle of
damage your
throwing a book at me?
It is fun.
It really is.
Yeah, but I know it's coming this time.
But will you
Yeah.
block it, or will you dodge?
Lumina, your voice suddenly got really quiet. What the hell?
I got up.
Ah. Nika eventually just shakes her head.
Nah, it's more fun when I can't see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, to keep Thanatos entertained.
Hey, Sid, you got anything to drink around here?
Well, I mean, I don't really have anything in the facility itself. I mean, you're not generally speaking supposed to drink when you're putting together highly complicated Magitech gizmos and gadgets. So no, I don't
I'm
keep any
sure-
alcohol in the manufactory.
There's the entirety of Endlem to explore. I'm sure you'll find something.
Which is why I was going
Science
to
is
ask,
boring.
is there a place where we could get like a quest or, anything to keep Thanatos entertained?
I mean, I don't know about. You could probably look for work, but I don't imagine you're going to find much that'll really be up your alley as a group of adventurers. A lot of that work is kind of handled by local groups. So generally speaking, people have like contacts already established that they go to around here. I mean, have you looked at this city? It's freaking huge.
Yeah, he's got a point there.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a
only
lot of
one
work.
thing left.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done, and most of it's done already. So you could probably just meander around, explore a bit, get more familiar with the layout of the
there's
city. I mean,
only-
it's been kind of non-stop since you were let out.
I mean,
So-
makes
Yeah.
sense. Most big cities have their own force to deal with these things. I mean, I'm one of them, normally.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I try
there's only
Thanatos.
one thing left to do then.
Get drunk.
Go find a bar. Where's the nearest bar, Sid?
Well, the
Knew it.
nearest bar, and he sort of gives some instructions, and you eventually discern it's this building right here. I'll mark it with a red check mark so you can go and ruin yourself.
What about you, Mika? What do you want to do?
I kind of just want to sit down with you and hear about everything that's happened while we've been apart.
Fair enough. There's a lot of things from tomberries to weird magic gizmos.
Well, let's all go for a drink then. Come on.
To the end it
I
is.
suppose I could
a
do.
bar?
I suppose I could do with some food too. All right.
Besides, I want to see how well you can hold your liquor, Mika.
She just kind of pouts at you. She'll start swishing.
Knee glares at Thanatos.
You are not getting her drunk, Thanatos.
Well, it all
you
depends
dare
on
think
her.
about it. No. You're gonna need a healer if you basically get wasted and fall into a ditch or something.
She is a healer.
But how
You
can
are a
she
healer,
heal
but
you
you
if
are.
she's drunk? Think, Thanatos.
What, you can't do magic drunk?
Anyway, are we going to actually get on with this so we can hear Thanatos complain?
I mean,
Yes, please.
there was this one time I got real drunk and this guy. pissed
All
me
right,
off
come
and
on.
I
Knee's gonna
have-
grab him by the
Ow.
ear and start
Ow,
dragging
ow.
him towards the door.
Ow, ow, ow,
Out you go.
ow, my ear.
You're going to the bar now, or you're not going to.
Oh, that's going to be a pain in the ass to animate.
No.
Okay. Okay.
You can
Sorry.
use that slightly derpy music that was
Besides,
in
if
the
you want-
Drinks War scene.
If you want to see some magic where someone's drunk, I will leave you in the hands of Athena.
You'll have fun.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure those hands belong to you, Alistair.
Nope, we are not a thing, and we are always deny it.
I'm still dragging him out the door, by the way, so I don't know why we're still fucking talking.
Ow!
All right.
Kick him
so-
out.
So you
Did I have
drag
my ear back?
So you drag Thanatos kicking and squirming out of Sid's workshop.
Not really
See ya,
kicking and
Sid.
squirming, more trying to get her to let go of my damn ear.
Like I said, kicking and squirming.
Damn it.
And you maneuver your way through the streets for a while. Eventually, you do find the bar in question, and it doubles as a restaurant too. Just kind of like a general come in, drink, eat, relax, piss around, that kind of thing. Very nice place.
Wonderful. I hope there's some Tomberry food here.
I doubt it.
Oh,
Oh,
damn it. Besides, I think Thanatos is allergic of the last time.
Damn.
As honestly, I'm hesitant to touch anything that was.
oh,
those
go on,
blades.
take a jab at it. I think you're gonna like it. I promise.
A jab, and it was an intentional pun.
I hate all of you.
there.
Mika kind of daintily pats you on top of the head with the tips of her fingers. Just
There.
I could give you some extra salt for that wound.
He's been through so much. He is a delicate little flower.
This
We
coming
must be
from
protected at all costs from everything,
He is a
even the booze.
little cinnamon bun.
this coming from the elf who got shot in the knee.
Well, at least none
I
of you
didn't get
passed
shot
out and
in the-
nearly died, like me.
Let me just correct your memory. I didn't get shot in the knee. I got shot in the gut. The knee joke was just you because you're horrible.
I'm Al, aren't I?
Mhm.
You guys love me, you know it.
They're not
Yeah.
married yet, silly.
what?
What? I mean,
What
just
the arrow to the knee means.
I know, yeah, but still, really? You have to say...
well, I
Did you just say they're not married yet?
Yes, she did.
Oh God.
God damn it.
Okay.
Skyrim joke.
I need a drink.
It's also
Well,
fact.
luckily for you, you're at the bar.
Yes. Drink
What is it with
what
these
you
guys
will.
in bars?
Drink what you're able.
Because drinking is fun.
Put a challenge with someone, they may drink you under the table.
The inside of this bar is very nice. Kind of it has a sort of similar kind of bronzy, brassy aesthetic that a lot of Endlem has, with it being very steampunk in terms of aesthetic. It's 2 stories tall on the inside, where the upper eating floors are sort of set up in this sort of like, I don't know if this is the right term, but a bunch of galleries, or like one big gallery, a big balcony that sort of surrounds the lower floor and looks down on it, with a bunch of tables and whatnot up there. The lower floor is also very nice, kind of a dark gray, almost black square tiles make up the floor space. Very shiny and reflective, very pleasant. And it's got this sort of homely orangey firelight going for the illumination from a bunch of yellow shaded paper lamps stuck up to the walls.
Fancy.
It's nice. It's got a bit of a grungy look to it, but it looks like that's more of a deliberate design choice.
What's the occupation like?
It's not super crowded. I'm saying you're currently in the evening right now. So it's not super duper crowded, but there are some people in here who got off work a little early, who worked morning to afternoon shifts, who are having a drink or two before heading home. There aren't any drunken swine around, for example.
Until
Just a
Thanatos.
heads up. Just a heads up. buddy.
Until Thanatos
You're
walks
echoing a
in.
bit.
I'm not drunk yet, dear.
Yeah.
Just hold on.
Did you just call me dear?
I was wanting to see if you.
Mika grabs Snee from the side.
Hey, this is mine.
They're perfect for each
I was
other.
wanting to see if you'd actually hear it.
I did, but I noticed
She's deaf
now
or
and
something.
then-
I don't know.
I noticed that Shazamas echoes now and then.
What?
Anyway, let's find a table until, something else drags us away from actually getting there.
Hey,
Don't jinx
Thanatos.
it. I want to enjoy this.
Yeah,
And
for
get
the sake of brevity, I'm mostly going to be skimming over the actual interactions with local staff in this place so that we can focus more on you guys just interacting with each other.
Quite.
As it's gonna say, hey Thanatos, if you're lucky, they might have some water here for a rematch.
Oh, no. No. Drawing the line. No.
One, we can't really afford anything that grand ever since we bought our bird here, her costume.
Costume?
Oh,
Oh,
Rocket has a phoenix dress now.
Say what?
We kind of had to buy Rocket a disguise back in Costa del Sol, so those Deviant Corp bastards didn't recognize her. Plus, she kind of stands out. So we bought her a phoenix dress.
It's also immune to fire.
Yep.
Yeah, I suppose I should point out, technically speaking, Rocket isn't actually allowed in here.
Ah.
Well, shit.
She has the license to travel around without too much obstruction, but a lot of people are still going to be like, yeah, no, you can't bring your bird in my store.
I refuse to leave her outside.
Who
so
has
I
the
shall
best, the dialogue skill or whatever?
Negotiation? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I suppose I should pull up my character sheet, shouldn't I?
You think?
Uh,
That would
if I
20
recall, I was the
minutes
one with
ago.
the highest.
20
But I
minutes
could be
ago.
wrong. My negotiation is a 4.
Mine's 1.
Mika has 3.
And I have 3.
Right, I guess it's me then. Oh boy.
Alright, I suppose we actually are being confronted since we've walked in by this point.
Yeah. Go ahead and, Alistair, go ahead and roll me a... Well, actually, first of all, as you're sort of looking around a bit,
Who's in
excuse
charge
me.
of the bar?
Let's hear. A Mithra man dressed up in what you can only seem to be the uniform of the place, kind of a standard looking apron of sorts kind of comes shuffling up. Excuse me. He points at Rocket. I see your I see the license, but the bird's still not allowed in here. It'll upset the other customers and patrons, and not all of them are going to be fully aware of the cyborg chocobo that's allowed to walk around. So that's gonna raise some flags if she's inside. So do you mind leaving her out?
Well,
You got any-
about that, she's with us, and also she's a very important member to us, and we don't want to feel like she's being left out. And I can assure you,
Worry about
it'll
me.
be no problem.
Okay,
So,
Alistair, go ahead and
maybe
roll
the
me.
decline?
Go ahead and roll me a negotiation check, Alistair.
Please, let's slide this once. It's a special
Ah.
occasion.
Well, I mean, we
Don't
have
worry.
a little bit of outside seating.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I
That'll be fine.
suppose that will work. Just as long as she doesn't cause a commotion.
I take you have a
don't worry.
table for 5 outside?
We don't mind taking it all.
I mean, I
outside.
can move some chairs around. Most people don't use the outside seating because it's still cold as hell outside.
That's
Oh.
fine. We have someone who
Thank
can
you, good sir.
All right,
keep us
My
warm
name's-
with fire magic.
all right, all right.
I told you guys not to worry about me.
Why are
It's
you
fine.
whispering?
No. It's fine. We can't just leave you out there on your own.
Why are you whispering, Lumina?
Because they're
Because not
supposed to
everyone
be
knows
keeping
the
a
truth.
low profile.
True, but it's
Yeah.
also not Costa del Sol, where you were trying to avoid Deviant Corp. You're an Emblem, where you're kind of known.
Ah.
Yeah, let's
Eh,
think
that'll
about
be
that.
fine. We'll sit outside, and when it gets cold, I can just
Hmm.
make a wisp
Thank-
or something.
Thank you, good sir. My name's Alasaya,
Oh, well,
and these are my friends.
pleasure. Let me go get your seats arranged. And he steps outside, and you follow him to a sort of an enclosed area that's sort of blocked off by fence, but still looks out across the street and surrounding buildings. You can see the sort of sprawling skyline of the factory and infrastructure districts up here, with the more almost Venetian Victorian architecture down to the south, and amongst all the marketplaces and residential districts. And of course, the tiers over here rising up with every step of residential district stuff. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Anyway,
Quite quaint.
yep,
I
so
like it.
so soon enough, you are seated. You have a table for 5. You're all sitting around, and I guess Rocket can just kind of curl up next to it.
Hmm.
So, anyway, Nettle here. Mika, how was your trip over? I mean, we went through the ringer just in a group. You were by yourself.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I stuck with a caravan for the first couple days, but then I did have to go the rest of the ways on my own. It was pretty rough, and I had to skirt around the edges of the Amber Coast just to get here safely. I would have been here sooner if I didn't have to worry about that.
We flew over in Sid's airship and got attacked by a bunch of creatures.
Jealous?
Yeah, I took care of him.
He did.
Well, useful for something good.
Sounds like quite the adventure. Amazing.
It was
missed
remarkably
it.
uneventful, thankfully. No big monsters attacked me or anything.
That's no fun.
At least you didn't get turned to stone.
I beg your pardon?
I got turned to
That
stone.
happened.
Again?
It happens, alright?
You need to stop doing
yeah.
that. It's not good for you.
Yeah,
I
I
wish we
noticed.
could.
Especially when it's a big teethy plant monster.
Yeah, I don't like grumblies either.
Screw the Gremlins. Burn them down.
Yeah, tell them about your little adventure with them out there.
Yes. He got the statue. I, on the other hand, went delusional and made frickin' dirt angels.
You can tell she's trying really hard to keep in her laughs as you convey that.
Also, when
Feel
we
free
last
to laugh.
met back in the Academy City, did I mention the squishy?
Oh dear, the squishy.
The squishy? What?
Thanatos, you want to go over this one?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
Lies!
come on, you know. Don't
it
touch
was a
my
stab
squishy.
wound.
Well, it was. I wasn't in the right train of thought, and we were in the middle of a heated battle with this tomb
Aw.
guardian.
What's the character's name again? The girl.
Which one?
The girl with the whip that
With the
Thanatos
whip.
plays in.
Oh, that's
14.
Tyra.
Yes.
Do
Long
you
story
miss
short,
my little squishy.
Long story short, we met a tomb guardian. It made them go loopy. This girl that we met who can jump really hard and stuff, almost like flying, and I'm really jealous. Anyway, well, she got cut, and she saw her blood and decided that it was her squishy, and said she would love it forever. And then both she and Thanatos started fawning over it like it was a pet. Meanwhile, we're trying to stop them from dying and fighting a giant tomb guardian necromantic beast.
Mika
And
looks at Thanatos
stopping
with
the
a
mad
giant shit-eating
scientist
grin.
escape.
Doesn't say anything, just grins at you.
Shut up.
I didn't say anything.
You just did, now shut up.
Oh, come on. That's not nice. She
I
came
would
all
say
this
touche,
way.
but no.
No. The lady has spoken.
Thanatos
Now
sticks his
then.
tongue out at her.
She sticks her
Now,
longer tongue
Thanatos.
out right back.
Okay, I think we need some drinks here to calm everyone.
I said maybe you should have been a dragoon, Nee. Then you can really fly.
Thanatos,
I
I'm teaching
hate
how to
you.
fly
I
in a
hate
minute.
you. I am jealous, and I hate you.
And we all know
Give
how
it-
much you love flying, Thanatos. Blech.
Oh yeah, this guy is very airship sick.
Humans are not meant to fly.
Hey, I'm
That's
human,
how
and I
American
thought it was
women-
alright. I like the scenery.
I mean, I'm an elf, and not that different from humans, and I want to fly kind of badly.
Well,
You can't.
Mika
question it.
suddenly pulls out her book and starts flipping through it wildly, eyes scanning the pages.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Is it a flying spell?
This can only end well, and not at all with a fire.
what are you doing?
You could just Google it.
I've never heard of that spell. What is this spell?
So-
Please
okay, so
do
after
explain.
a moment, Mika sort of lets out a deflating sigh and closes her book.
It's going to be a really long time before I can cast that.
Aww.
That's
I
a
want to see
thing.
a flying knee.
But this is a spell book, alright? It's full of stuff.
And she holds it up, and you see it's a book on time magic.
Ooh.
Puts it back in her satchel.
I was looking up the flight spell. I knew there was one, but it's way too high for me. I'm not strong enough to try and pull that off yet. Not by a long shot.
Don't worry, we'll
I,
get there.
I can keep dreaming.
I'll just keep
Someday,
me alive
maybe.
long enough, and
She sort of makes it like butterfly motions with her hands and then points at you.
Me smiles.
How do you think I feel? I'm a bird and I can't fly.
Well,
Aw.
chocobos don't fly, right?
Black chocobos do,
yeah, I can vouch for that. Black chocobos can typically fly, but I'm judging it's mostly because of all the Magitech parts sticking out of you weighing too much that you can't. Am I right?
Yeah, weighs me
Yes.
down.
Not without
Don't
those
worry.
boosters active. We still need to get someone to fix those for you.
Yeah,
Tell
good
you
luck.
what, Rocket.
Good luck in a city of. Oh, that's illegal.
I tell you what, Rocket. Someday, when we deal with Deviant Corp and other matters, we will find a way so you get yourself back in here
Well,
again.
Here's another idea. We're raiding their base hopefully soon. Maybe we can find some replacement boosters while we're there.
Or
Those
we,
It's not
could,
flying, but it will do.
or we could just politely ask one of those scientists.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure
What was
that's
that
going to
Luna-
work.
What was that
I don't
Lumina
think
said?
so.
Everyone else kind of drowned around. I didn't hear.
Same.
Sorry.
Those boosters hurt when they fire, you know.
Yeah.
A lot.
Not the best idea.
Isn't
Here.
Imagine
I'm-
having a booster put in your chest. And that thing going off and pushing you forward and pushing
crushing
all your guts. Yeah.
What?
And it's
Well-
fire, you know, fire.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
fire's
And
fun.
Not when you got a flammable material such as feathers, Thanatos.
Well, just
Aren't you
make
meant to have some sort of pain suppressant in your head? I remember that bitch scientist lady mentioning something about that.
It doesn't really work all the time.
Correction,
something-
just real quick correction. It used to work, but after your initial escape from DV Corp, it got damaged or deactivated somehow, and you haven't been able to figure out how to turn it back on since.
Well,
Yeah.
something
Well,
else we can look into when we're burning it. But
Is a pain inhibitor illegal here?
Probably. A lot of things are.
You could all make lore history checks to see if you know that.
We don't have
Well,
any,
I've
and I'm
I'm
thinking-
going. Nee's going to turn and ask the super knowledgeable Mika, who may have read it in a book sometime.
That's a 14 for lore. Mika sits upright.
I don't think it's illegal per se, but it does have to be under certain circumstances.
How about constant debilitating pain every second of your life?
That would probably meet the bill, I imagine, but I'm no lawyer. I'm a mage.
And besides,
So
it's Deviant
maybe we could see if, maybe if not Sid, maybe somebody.
Well, we can ask him about it when we get back. How about
Yeah.
that sound good, Rocket?
And think about it. It's freaking Deviant Corp. Everything they do is bloody dodgy.
Yeah, well, not all of the technology they use is necessarily dodgy based parts. It's just what they build with it and do with it and terrorize with it.
And
mean,
the amber that the
We're going to the headquarters, so we could possibly just convince one of them to help us out.
I would be
It's not-
reluctant, though, to let some random DV Corp scientists inside Rocket's systems.
That's why you hold a blade to their throat while they're doing it.
That's when they hack into her and take control of her cyborg parts.
Yeah, see, the
Then
thing
I-
is, none of us are engineers, so none of us would be able to know if they're actually fixing her or sabotaging her.
I've read. Scholars has read enough sci-fi novels to know where this is going.
What you all have to remember and keep in mind that Deviant Corp currently has a lot of ember, which we definitely need to be careful around.
I mean, they're called Deviant Corp, they're plainly going to be devious.
True.
And deviants.
I'm more worried about the ember.
Speaking
Speaking
devious,
Deviant Corp.
deviants, all around and not nice people.
You know,
remember
Alistair
what-
does make a good point we need to talk about. There was what Nabat said about that Amber guy that was there.
Yes.
Yes, me. There's a potentially another Saran in Deviant Corp's ranks who's pulling the strings.
Her expression immediately sours.
Tell me everything.
Go ahead.
Well, when we were interrogating the bot, some guy that was this person's description again, just cloaked, wasn't it?
Nabat said that she never saw his face because he was always wearing a dark blue robe that kept his face hidden, hood up.
That was
And-
male.
What was
Dark
male,
blue
yes,
robe.
and identified himself as Murasan, which I will now spell in chat so that you can remember it.
I won't, but there.
Is that correct? The Crimson Sword?
Yes,
Is that the
Nabat.
blue robe guy?
No.
Okay.
Nabat, when interrogated, told us about this guy called Murasan, cloaked, male, never saw his face, but he showed up at Deviant Corp a little while back, and he's kind of seems to be somewhat running the show in the background. He has the director's ear. They're using amber in their research, and when the bot protested, she got assigned to a backwater. We think that it's another servant of Diablos, potentially, trying to spread amber.
Oh dear.
Taking over a bunch of villagers and arming them as a cultist is one thing, but a massive corporation, this guy's more dangerous than Saran, in my opinion.
Would it even be possible to create amber Magitech hybrid things?
I don't
Oh,
really know
man.
what all can be done with amber. I mean,
I hate
it's pretty much forbidden to mess with it, even under the most generous of circumstances. It corrupts just about everything it touches. Experimenting on it to study it is borderline impossible to do without succumbing to the effects.
Well, I don't think the God of Darkness is too concerned about the effects on his peons.
Well, then we should probably assume it can be used for just about anything. Safer than
Theoretically,
sorry.
theoretically, corrupting a machine to do its own thing is not exactly unbelievable. It's a
But
possible-
also, if it's a machine that's also organic, that then infected. Like, Rockets got briefly infected back in Marasu.
Yeah. For like
On her
a
beat.
minute, but still.
But luckily, she was okay.
That's
So
the thing I have to add in the transcript.
it'll be fine. We beat Saran. This guy can't be any better.
But anyway, enough about doom and gloom. Thanatos, you're the master of alcohol. How about you find out what they have here?
Excelente.
I
Where's our waiter?
I was operating under the assumption that you'd all been sipping at drinks this whole time, but all right.
I mean, yeah, we could just go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, here's what I do. All right, has Mika ever? Okay. Hey Mika,
Oh no.
have you ever drank?
I think he's asking you if you've ever actually been drunk, to clarify.
I've
No,
never
I mean,
been
if she's ever-
drunk, no. But
Don't
I mean,
listen
I've
to
had a
them.
little bit of alcohol from time to time. Never a lot. Usually, just like... Yeah, never a lot. I think like the most I ever had one time was shortly after I turned of age and I finished this really important assignment that Tam gave me. A couple of my friends in the castle brought me a wine bottle to celebrate, and we all drank a little bit, and I didn't drink nearly as much as they did because I like to keep my faculties about me, but they wound up sauntering off all burpy-like.
Speaking of Tam and the castle, have you heard from them or your family?
I've heard from Tam from time to time. He has this spell that he can use to communicate over long distances as long as he knows where I am. So he's been using that to keep in touch where possible.
Your parents?
God damn it.
Well, I've been on the move for a little while, so I've been trying, but it's easier said than done.
Tell me about it.
Right?
I say, have you
still haven't seen
made
yours
any
again, have
contact
you?
with your sisters?
Anyway, sorry, what was that?
Have you made any contact with your
No.
sisters?
Yeah, sorry, what did Mika say? I heard that bit.
She was pretty much saying the same thing. That's right. You still haven't
Right.
gotten back in touch, have you?
No, I haven't heard or seen a thing since I originally left Vitea. That was months and months ago now.
Did they know that you left?
Oh, yeah, if I didn't tell them, they would have hunted me down within the first couple days. Trust me, Rania would have done it, and she would have been scarily good at it.
I
See, the
believe
sisters
you.
of yours sound so fun. I can't wait till we visit.
They would kick your ass for your quips. And then probably make some in the process, because Rania kind of has some double standards sometimes, but don't tell her I said that.
I'll write it down.
Do not anger her sisters. If
What
you
about
do
the other
them.
one?
What? Scalala, she's the one that's all about trivia and facts and reading and also trying to be a badass. She's better than me, but she's not as good as Rania. We kind of, our skills kind of range in order of age. Which makes sense. They've been in their ranges longer than I have.
That's gonna be fun.
No. Do not tease them or insult them.
He
Oh,
can't
no,
himself.
please
I
do.
would never.
Mika's tail starts swishing at just the tip.
Please do. I'd love to watch the spectacle.
She grins and a little fang pokes out of her lip.
Oh, dear.
Well,
Sarcasm does not.
well, even if I can't contact them for however long, we are gonna have to go back to Vectea at some point anyway to find out about Panara. So we'll probably see them then. And they don't know about us. Oh dear.
I know one thing.
Now that's what I want to see.
The only thing I know when we do meet them, there's going to be a lot of healing of Thanatos I'm going to need to do after this.
You and me both.
Yes, and then just think, Mika, both her sisters thinking, oh, who is this girl that you've met here, Nee?
Thanatos,
You can be quiet anytime now.
She's turning red.
if you want to have children, I suggest you be quiet.
I'm just gonna not think about that inevitable day because it's going to kill me.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Not it. We're talking about Rania. It won't. It really won't.
Thanatos?
Yes.
She lifts her hand and starts casting a spell. I need you to roll an opposed finesse check.
Can I use force instead?
No.
Well,
Not
say farewell to your
this.
children. Oh.
Roll again. That was even. Roll again.
Okay. Can you beat the 14? No.
Fuck.
All right, so you all
my
watch
girl.
as Mika lifts her hand, waves it. There's a few sparkles, and the sort of cloudy haze appears over Thanatos' head. He raises an eyebrow for a second, and then does.
Uh-oh.
You are now afflicted with the sleep status ailment.
Ah, there we go. That should give us a couple minutes of peace, relative.
How many-
Mika, have I ever explained how much I missed you? Thank you for that.
Do you have an anti-snore spell?
I do not. I'm afraid I've made a terrible mistake.
Ah, well,
You can always
can-
get
Hold on, I have a plan.
I can
Alistair, you
tolerate
help me-
this. As long as
Can you
there's
help
an
me?
stuff a napkin in his mouth.
Alistair, can you help me carry him out back?
I like your plan. I don't mind either.
Why am I suddenly being just thrown aside?
Because your snoring's annoying.
well, she put me to sleep.
Sleep, little dark night. When you wake up, you don't know where you are.
So yeah, after tossing him out back, just in like an alley, maybe a ditch.
You get a few weird looks as you do this, but no one really seems to question. Just like,
It's okay, everyone. We know him.
that doesn't make it better.
He just needs timeout time.
It seems to appease the audience, and they carry on.
Too much to drink.
Not enough.
Too bad. So sad.
Anyway,
Stupid cat.
so
You're
shall we
lucky you were
just
asleep.
shall we just wait until he wakes up and so he can rejoin us?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm pretty
And
much
how
just
long
waiting
am
for
I
you
as-
guys. I'm pretty much just waiting for you guys to decide you're done talking, so that we can move on. Like, I'm just letting you have your character moment here, just as a heads up.
So can we just continue on? They've all eaten, and I get to starve because they.
Yeah,
We'll
but
wait
it's
for you
like
to
pretty
wake
well.
up. It's only a couple
here's
minutes.
Here's the thing. Yeah, the sleep spell only lasts in combat. It only lasts for 4 rounds. Out of combat, we'll just say it lasts for a few minutes, unless it's really fucking potent. And she
Yeah.
was
So
only
we-
and she was only casting it with the intention of knocking you out for a couple minutes anyway.
So
Yeah.
let's quickly jump to the time where you're waking up in the back alley and coming back.
Yeah, a couple
Wake
minutes. Yeah, a couple minutes
Wake up.
later, you come to, kind of groggy. You're slumped against a wall, and you see none of your friends around you.
What the hell? Where the fuck am
And that was the most
Right.
entertaining story I've ever heard.
I?
Oh, morning,
Alright.
Thanatos.
You can't see him. He's
It's
around a
been a-
corner.
So I
Just
come
let them
around
come
the
back.
corner.
Yep.
And I see them.
Yep.
I walk back up to the table and sit down, and I look at Tamika. I hate you.
Yeah, we love you too.
Anyway, before we got distracted with talk of contact and family, we were talking about drinks.
Oh yes. Now, Mika, for that lovely little nap you just gave me, I think it's only best that I treat you to a drink.
If you get to the water, run for the hills.
Can I decline?
No.
Yes.
Neothil, help me.
Thanatos, cease this madness at once.
I am offering my dear friend who has returned to us a drink. In
Well, I am
kindness.
offering my girlfriend a drink, and you can buzz off.
Mm-hmm.
Stay out of the equation.
I like strawberry flavored.
Well, there should be strawberry flavored something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, wanna come with me to make sure you get something you actually want?
Eee.
Yep, she does that. You stand up and you shuffle off to acquire drinks. Up to you. If
Killjoys.
Up to you if we focus on that interaction or not.
Depends on what the
It's
table
their
doing.
relationship and their relationship alone. In other words, they don't give a fuck what you want.
Yeah.
Eloquently put.
Hmm.
Anyway, you guys getting more drinks yourself, or
Or
I
are we
think-
moving on?
I think this is enough character interaction. We can just move on back to Sid's, I guess.
Yeah, we are fun with Thanatos.
All right, so yeah, you spend a little while just shooting the breeze, relaxing, chatting amongst yourselves, having a few drinks, having some food. It's very nice having a nice warm meal pre-prepared in a nice restaurant rather than the kind of crummy rations that you would get aboard the Stargazer. Like, the food there wasn't terrible, but it was clearly made to last and not to be great. Like, low effort, easy to prepare, quick to serve kind of food was on the airship. This is really nice stuff, and you're feeling much refreshed afterwards. And you all steadily start making your way back to Sid's place.
Well, little break is over. Back to work.
Oh, God.
Did you do
Whoa!
the party symbol?
I accidentally made it thick, is what I did.
And suddenly, space and time just
Thick
been
boy.
denied.
I made
Anyway.
it thick.
anyway, not so much back to work. I would say more like to sleep because it's late.
Yeah,
So maybe we can ask Sid
I don't know
about
why we did that. I
pain
didn't
in
want
it,
to do that.
on the way back.
All right, so you all go ahead and you come in, you explain the situation. You're swiftly led to the rooms that Sid had told you about. He must have communicated with his receptionist and informed them that you're allowed to stay here for the night. You find the empty rooms, and they are all pretty much the same to each other. There is a bed in the far right corner from the door, a window to the left of it that sort of looks out over the skyline to the north, or rather to the west, rather, my bad. You have a small little desk with an inkwell, a quill, and a few sheets of stray parchment, and a dresser, and a couple other little things like a little dining table in the near left corner. And all the rooms are pretty much the same like that, so, and there are 4 of them, so it's up to you how you double up.
Well, I say that Nee and Mika choose their room first.
Well, are you okay with us sharing, Mika? Because
I suppose, yes.
I think she's tomato mode right now.
All right, now remember, you two. I
Shut.
want you in bed. I want lights out at midnight and no hanky panky. all right?
you
That's
realize
it.
he
Get in the
still
room.
has a sleep spell, right?
Go to
Piss
bed.
off, you stupid Robin.
Yeah, Mika starts like
Grab your
flailing
buddy
her
here.
hand. Yeah, Mika starts like flailing her arms at you, and little sparks of a no damage level Dia spell fly out and just kind of pepper you and sting you a bit, and one of them kind of pokes you on the butt on the way out. Just
All right. I'm going.
Shoot,
I'm going.
go on.
I'm going.
This is your room. Get in your room.
I am. Good night to all you two. Conk.
Just push him in there.
all right. So everyone has their own room then.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
See you all in the morning.
Okay. So night falls. Before long, the light outside fades away, and soon enough, you're all getting yourselves situated and comfy. The bed is thankfully large enough that it can be comfortably shared. Although you notice that in this particular instance, Mika does not totally switch into what you would assume to be pajamas, essentially. Like she does dispose like the sort of long skirty cape thing she's got going around the waist. But aside from that, she's mostly just staying in her regular clothes for this particular stint of sleeping in the same bed.
Ditto the Neo CS ditch her armor. Because sleeping in that would be uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Lumina, if you're hungry, go get some food. We don't mind.
All right. Well, I mean, I kind of need Lumina for what's about to happen.
Oh, shoot.
She can't leave now. I need her.
Aw.